Hello and welcome. It's The Chat. I am Manny. As they say, from Cape to Cairo, there's none as great as my guests on the program today, and I'm in his home.
Tunde Kelani is a Nigerian filmmaker, storyteller, director, producer, and cinematographer. Popularly known as TK, Tunde specializes in producing movies which promote the Nigerian cultural heritage, most of which are literary adaptations. Tunde was born on the 26th of February 1948. Although he is a native of Lagos State, he spent the bulk of his childhood with his parents in Abeokuta, where he gained a rich experience of the Yoruba culture. He attended Okeono Primary School in Abeokuta and Abeokuta Grammar School for his secondary education. Tunde developed interest in photography while in primary school and invested time and money into mastering the craft during and after his secondary education. He also received a 4-year training as a cameraman at the former Western Nigerian Television, WNTV. He further proceeded to London Film School for a 2-year course on the arts and techniques of filmmaking. His years with his grandparents, coupled with the knowledge he garnered at the London Film School, watered the ground for his trailblazing career in filmmaking. At the end of his course in London, he returned to Nigeria and co-produced his first movie, The Dilemma of Reverend Father Michael, with Adebayo Faleti. Furthermore, in 1990, Kelani functioned as an actor and assistant director in the first American movie to be shot in Nigeria, Mr. Johnson. After many years in the film industry, he established his own production company, Mainframe Films and Television Productions, in 1992. Thus far, the company has produced 16 movies. Some of them include Tioluwanile, Maami, and his latest, Dazzling Mirage. In a move to give back to society, Tunde in 2016 established his film school, Mainframe Film and Media Institute. In his career spanning well over 4 decades, he has earned several international and national awards and recognitions, including African Magic Viewers' Choice Industry Merit Award, Emmy Awards, and the NMA Lifetime Award, amongst others. Tunde Kelani is married and is blessed with children.
Welcome, Tunde Kelani.
It's a pleasure.
It's just a pleasure.
It's been a long time. Yes.
I know.
Remember
way back in the
those days,
yes.
we probably were reporting, and I was doing my, filming.
Yes.
And we were all young people.
Yes. Well, where is your friend? I mean, there were 2 of you at that time. Is it Wale Fanu?
Oh, Wale Fanu. Wale Fanu is managing Cinecraft. I left Cinecraft for him to start Mainframe Production.
Oh, it's not like you parted company on a challenge circumstances.
No, not at all. We had to cut a considerable investment, better part of our young days. And we're getting those film making equipments of that technology at that time. I think we tried. We gave technical backing to most of the early Nigerian films.
And then since after then, you have grown so massively in the film industry.
I do appreciate our audience recognition that behind the camera also there will be people who put these things together. And I'm not in front of the camera person. I'm not a star. I know my place. I'm not a fine boy like that.
Are you trying just to say that? No, but let's go back to your early beginnings. I mean, you eventually started working on your own, and now you consider yourself just a storyteller. What do you mean?
Apparently, at the time when, maybe from the age 12, I found the camera. I never let the camera go. And I realized later that there was perhaps a need for me to get something to start documenting my cultural experience. Things were happening all around me, and these are really exciting things and so on. Most of the films that I made was set in Abeokuta, or Ibadan. So I was always coming in and out. So Abeokuta is a place I really never left, because I kept coming back, and it's become this sort of a set to most of my stories.
Why did you choose that side of things?
I think that now my work can be described or can be grouped, but essentially I work in language, culture, literature, history, preservation, um, sustainable development goals, and women. These are the themes. And I was mentored by great people like Hubert Ogunde, Dr. Labalogun, and the greats, Moses Olaya.
Who was the greatest of your mentors, in your opinion?
I think
who had more impact?
I'm just particularly lucky that I've been privileged to see the greats like Kola Ogunmola on stage when he was performing, when he was with us. And then, of course, Duro Ladipo, I've really seen these people, and to have been mentored by great people, even in television, because I was trained at the former Western Nigerian television, and Engineer Maduka, Ayogunlade, Tejo Yeleye, these are Tunde Adeniji, these are Uncle Yinka Johnson. These are great people who, mentored me.
Great. I mean, I'm sure you realize or you have become aware that, television is 60 years in Nigeria.
Yes, of course. I'm made in television because after my apprenticeship with Dr. Kubanjo Studios as a photographer in Lagos, and because I've seen all these great movies that came into Lagos anyway, so I developed interest in cinema as well, and the only place I could get trained was in television.
Did you work in NTA?
No, I was in Western Nigeria, WNT.
WNT. But you had a stint with the BBC television, didn't you?
No, what I did, after coming back from London Film School, I did newsreel and documentary work for BBC World Service in Lagos on contract basis as a freelance. And then with Reuters, and then independent producers coming into the country, Uncle Richard Taylor, and then Danish television, and it's got a number of materials. And then, of course, worked in NTA before I left to become independent with John Chairman.
Oh, John Chairman, yes, I remember him.
And, fantastic. These are hugely talented people. They're extraordinary talent.
How do you pick your actors in your films? I mean, they are particularly, were they trained, especially these Yoruba movies?
Usually it depends. First of all is the story. The story would demand certain expertise, starting from performance, of course. And you could, when you see the story, you prepare and you unfold, as it's unfolding, you have an idea who is likely to play in this. But usually there are about 3 groups of seasoned actors, professional, either formally or directly, people who are not formally trained in any institution, but were brought up in the theater tradition, right on the job. So there's the group of Yoruba artists who are informally trained but learned on the job, and they are spontaneous. And besides that, you remember the Yoruba have had thousands of years of performance for Egungun masquerades too. These are actors and talented people performing under masks, who grew into the Yoruba traveling theater, who again drifted into television and then started to make films. The exciting part of this is that Africans are naturally talented and endowed, and if you really study a village very well, you develop a crop of new artists. All you need to
But,
do is spend a
it
day
is,
with
it's
them.
not, I was going to say, like, it is not that it's much easier to do it with a particular language medium, you know, Yoruba.
No,
Than
I
it would
would
have
work
been.
in Yoruba because essentially as an artist, I work in my language and culture.
Is
And
it,
then, of course, I'm
you,
an advocate, of cultural expressions. Like in Nigeria, for instance, 300 languages and so much diversity. There should be variety, creativity in it should reflect in our cultural products. So it is really inconceivable that I will work in a foreign language like English, because how much English do I know? It can't be natural.
so even in the ease of doing this business of yours, filming in Yoruba, what sort of challenges?
There's no ease, because actually, if you think about it, there's no language to it, because it is telling stories in images. Images can be anything. So the Japanese tell their stories in Japan, they tell stories in Japanese. The Indians do so in India. The Chinese make their films in Chinese. In Poland, people make their films in Polish. In France will never make their films in other than French. So as a Yoruba person, then the Yoruba cinema is valid. That can only be the currency, for me to express myself. I couldn't do it any other way. It's not possible.
How come there are lots of directors that spring out from the Yoruba, film industry?
That's the thing about Nollywood. It's expressions. If you have the tool to tell a story you believe in, chances are that you can pick up anything to tell that story. In the days of the chemical process of cellular making films, it will not be possible because you couldn't own the means of production. Everything has to be exported from abroad. But right now, the tool to tell your story is in your pocket. So that's what you should expect. Everybody have discovered they have voices, and then everybody needs to express themselves. So, yeah, that's why everybody is making one. It's just like, there was a time when only people could write, and so on, and then they do with hand, but now everybody can type it, on their word processor, and so on. So, in other words, today, there are millions of cameras, but very few photographers.
What does that speak of?
Well, it tells you that, technology makes it everywhere, but, professionals, people will emerge that can use it in a better way than just everybody,
Isn't it like it is getting better? I thought you would have been saying that, production is made easier.
It's not a question of being easy. If it's easy, then there's something wrong. You understand? It is as delicate as writing, like literature, for instance, and so on. So, for the fact that it's become like fast food, you understand? The quality work would not, come like that easy. Everybody can make one, but so what?
Of all your films, which has given you the greatest challenge?
Everyone, because you can imagine if you have to make films in a place like Nigeria, you have to worry about. In fact, it's almost a miracle that a country that cannot produce electricity should be making films. If there's no electricity, and this is based on the first thing is you have to have electricity.
Of your films, there's only one of them I recall that has an English title, Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt. You see, it was the perfect opportunity for me to show that, it's not about language. You could make film in anything you like. I've made that the campus coin is in English, for instance, and Dazzling Mirage is in English, usually because of the theme. Because it depends on where the source material is coming from. If it's from a literary material, in this case, Faliti, who, of course, of blessed memory, who was an accomplished Yoruba scholar, wrote, everybody's been saying, no, this man cannot write in English. So he wrote Thunderbolt in English.
You don't have a second chance.
No.
Okay, there you go.
One that is visible.
You read out what's the question.
Read out this question. If I can answer, I'll tell you I can answer it. What is your biggest challenge in Nigeria as a movie director?
Well, that's easy. That would seem easy for you. I mean, movie director of note at that.
What I think is funding, because it's terrible to find a fund. There are stories and stories to tell, and sadly, there's paucity of funds to do it. Mm-hmm. That's one, and we still lack the infrastructure to make the industry sustainable. Throughout Nigeria, for instance, how many cinemas we have? 50, 57. America probably has thousands. In Nigeria, I think there's an aggregate that we should have at least 750 cinemas. But we don't have 60, we have 57. So if you make the movie, chances are that it'll be tough to recoup that investment. And that is why there's been a lot of interventions, but more or less like credit banking, and nobody, no filmmaker can survive on that model. It's tough.
I see that apart from filmmaking, you're also an instructor. You know, you teach, you train.
Teach. Yeah, it's irresponsible of me and to have been a beneficiary of 60 years of television in Nigeria and not share what I know, what I've been taught, and my experience. You know, so I need to do it because I'm privileged, because I've been someone who studied in oral tradition and then have experienced everything.
I mean, you've got to be producing filmmakers like yourself. You're 71 now.
Yes, I am.
I mean, time is running out.
Yes.
You have to be able to bring in people who
I
you've
have.
got to
You know,
mentor.
I have success stories already. You know, there are a bunch of people who are already accomplished by their own rights. Like I was mentored, they have also been mentored, you know, by me. And I still keep, started Mainframe Film and Media Institute, although we are revamping the whole thing. But if you see my card now, it says I'm a filmmaker and teacher. Teacher, because I need to, you know, to impart, to, you know, to put something back.
What is your feeling about distributorship of films?
Well, everybody, it's a problem because we don't have, we need more platforms to that, because the truth is, if you invested in a film and distributors take it around the cinemas, and after the taxes and the expenses, what is net is shared. You know, usually now the filmmakers, you know, take the least share of this. That's the problem. And I think generally sooner or later we're going to, with our back against the wall, we have to come together to renegotiate and say.
Are you complaining about your pockets?
Of course, you know, every producer should be complaining about their pocket. Because you are lucky if you get a third of the net that's coming from the cinema.
Why is it so difficult?
Well, that's the condition from the exhibitors and the distributors. And
let me ask you a question. Do you know a Baba Wande?
Oh yeah, of course we work together on Tiolu and Ile. You know.
Who is he to you?
No. We collaborated initially on our first production, Tiolu and Ile, which is a classic by standards today. You know,
apparently you're no longer very good friends.
We are. You know, he was here. If you, and apparently maybe you have been hearing the, you know, stories of, you know, but one day since we sat down, somebody intervened and we sat down to tell us. I wasn't telling my own story because he doesn't know that a producer has responsibilities. Producer also has to release the work to a distributor and a marketer, and probably didn't know, you know, that there are costs, you know, to everything. They think that once you.
Okay, so in short, you're back as friends now.
No, we are friends. See, last time he was working at Bekuta, he came to see me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a story that I picked on. I ran into it saying he will never ever settle his dispute with you. And I was thinking,
he didn't understand.
You have to be, you know, hiding for your life.
No, what has happened is that I thought that I couldn't. There are certain things I would not say in public about him because I respect him a lot. You know, he's one of the greatest ever. But he perhaps was doing that because he wanted sympathy, you know, with it. But once we sat down, I said, look, I can't drag you down, you know, like that. It would be embarrassing to the whole Yoruba nation.
Let's talk about the brighter sides now. You know, I mean, you have bagged so many awards in your professional career, haven't you?
I wish that could be converted to Naira.
Yeah, but, you know, which of them, you know, is best?
I think you know, I've had retrospectives, for instance, both in Nigeria and outside Nigeria. Los Angeles International International Film Festival, Rotterdam International Festival, New York African Film Festival. You know, retrospectives. They've selected some of my work, you know, which I studied everywhere, and so on.
You're going to be cast away to an island where you're allowed to take along with you five items that are most important to you for the next 2 weeks you're going to be away there. What could these items be?
My mobile phone.
That's what.
Because, you know, I could dial where I was. Because the smartphones are no longer smartphones. I could do GPS. You know, I would know my way back. You know,
so what other items will you take along with you apart from your mobile phone?
Something to make fire.
To make fire?
Fire, yes.
A box of matches?
A box of matches and something.
What would you do with that?
You know, I could keep warm. And if I'm lucky to catch a crab, I'll cook it. I wouldn't have to eat anything raw, you see.
Really?
You know, I could live depending, I could, you know.
So, okay, so you have a mobile phone, a matchbox, what else?
A matchbox, maybe a knife, you know, a machete.
You're in a killer mood.
You know, I'd have to make a tent, cut down what I need to make shelter, you know, and I really have never killed anything in my life, but I think I'll need to defend myself.
I'm sure you have killed mosquitoes today, don't lie. have you not killed mosquitoes?
Have we not all killed mosquitoes? I've not killed enough mosquitoes. We need to really kill 1 billion mosquitoes to stop malaria.
Right. 2 more to go.
Maybe a shoe, canvas shoe, some jungle boots or something.
How would you be doing with that?
No, I could step on anything, you know, protect my feet.
But what, in spite of saying all of this, how does that describe you as a person? How would you describe yourself? Very fearful, very protective? No, how do you describe yourself then?
You know, I'm very simple, peace, nature-loving person, and live and let live.
Are you living here with your family?
My family, they're in Lagos. I'm here.
Okay.
You know, and occasionally I go back and forth between them. You know, artists, we are very selfish. Aren't you selfish?
Are you a grandfather?
Are you with your wife in Abuja? I know you are one of those selfish people. I know you.
You call that selfishness?
Well,
are you a grandfather?
Oh yes.
Really? How many?
My daughter, one.
One.
I started late, you know, but I will catch up, don't worry.
I'm sure you would. Thank you, Tunde, for being on this program.
It's a pleasure because I never imagined that I'd be sitting in front of man. I'd be sitting in front of you. You know.
Thank you. I've enjoyed your company. I hope you have enjoyed talking to me.
Just listen to your voices. I could go to sleep.
Thank you. It's been Tunde Kelani, the greatest of the greatest of the greatest filmmakers.
Please, that's
I am Manny.
Embarrassment.
It's been The Chat. See you next time. The Chat is produced by Channels Television. You can watch it again online. Just visit our social media platforms: Twitter, YouTube, Facebook.